So why is it that when somebody has performance problems at work, why is it that our instinct is to say, you're out? We do not practice empathy. What does empathy look like? Here's the lack of empathy. This is normal in our business world. You walk into someone's office, someone walks into our office and says, your numbers have been down for the third quarter in a row. You have to pick up your numbers, otherwise I can't guarantee what the future will look like. How inspired do you think that person is to come to work the next day? Here's what empathy looks like. You walk into someone's office, someone walks into your office and says, your numbers are down for the third quarter in a row. Are you okay? I'm worried about you. What's going on? We all have performance issues. Maybe someone's kid is sick. Maybe they're having problems in their marriage. Maybe one of their parents is dying. We don't know what's going on in their lives. And of course it will affect performance at work. Empathy is being concerned about the human being, not just their output.
I stand before you again tonight, after almost 2 terms as your president, to tell you I am more optimistic about the future of America than ever before. The America I know is full of courage and optimism and ingenuity. The America I know is decent and generous. Black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, young, old, gay, straight, men, women, folks with disabilities, all pledging allegiance under the same proud flag to this big, bold country that we love. That's what I see. That's the America I
know. Reeves, I love saying your name. I gotta say that. It's exciting for me to say your name. It's a movie star name. And you probably, growing up, you probably didn't think it was a movie star name.
No.
No, but it is. Keanu Reeves. Did you ever think
Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
But I heard that you maybe thought for a little second of maybe changing your name, or your agents, or somebody brought up.
Beginning story.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm 20 years old, and I'm going to drive in my first car.
Yes.
And I'm going to drive to Hollywood. And get there, and my manager, my agent say, welcome.
Yeah, this is a great story.
Great to see you. And I'm all excited, and they say, great to see you, but we want to change your name.
This is the truth. This is Hollywood. This is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, they did it the first day I got there.
So,
I mean, literally, I'm like, hey, man, all right, like, change your name. So anyway, so...
They don't think Keanu Reeves is hireable.
I'm not going to talk about that. So anyway, so they say, okay, well, help us out. So I go to the ocean because this is a big deal for me, right? It's my name. It's my name. Yeah. And I literally go to the ocean.
And you scream, it's my name.
It's my name! And so
I turn it into a seashell. And then you toss the shell into the thing, and it comes back with a name. And what does the shell tell you your name is?
Chuck Spadina.
There you go. There you go. That's it.
I've spoken about feminism, the more I have realized that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it is that this has to stop. I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused being called bossy, because I wanted to direct the plays that we would put on for our parents. But the boys were not. When at 14, I started to be sexualized by certain elements of the media. When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of their beloved sports teams because they didn't want to appear muscly. When at 18, my male friends were unable to express their feelings. I decided that I was a feminist.
open the app, you get this screen, and you've got three options. Let's take a look first at the rules. We designed the rules for Rhetoric to be as simple and clean as possible. We do not like games where you have to spend hours just trying to figure out how to play. So going through the rules, it explains what you do on every square that you land on. The rules are not very complicated. It'll take you 5 to 10 minutes maximum to go through them. There are explanations for how the game ends, how to play competitively if you want, and different variations that you can play. Let's take a look at the About button. Here, you get a little bit of history about Rhetoric, how we created the game. You get to see a picture of our smiling faces. You have links to each of our websites and an explanation of how you can order the physical version of the game. And finally, a little description of the great people who helped us develop this app. But let's take a look at Play. First thing you're going to want to do is choose your language. That's right, you can play Rhetoric in different languages, currently 5. For example, let's take a look at German. And if you play in German, then of course everything, the rules, the About screen, they are all in German. We go back, let's take a look at Spanish. Again, everything switches to Spanish. There's also French and Catalan. So you can play Rhetoric in 5 different languages now, but more are going to be added in the future, so stay tuned. So let's go back to English. You choose whether you want the speeches to be 1 or 2 minutes for the timer, and you choose whether you want to play competitively or just for fun. But now let's add some players so you can see how the game is played. You can add your name to any color you like. You don't have to go in order. So we have Bill, we have Amy. Let's jump down, let's say Maria. And we'll add one more. Let's pick green, and we'll go for Robert. So we have our 4 players. When you're ready, you hit the green check mark, and it takes you to the board. Amy's up, she rolls the die, and she's got a 6. So Amy's landed on topic. She taps the card, picks a card. Sports. That is her topic. She hits the green check mark, and now she has to choose one of these 6 fields. She either has to tell a story, evoke the senses, use humor, use a quote. And if at any time you're not sure what you have to do, you hit the question mark at the top of the screen. It takes you to the part of the rules where you are. So it's very quick. It's a very quick way of finding out what you have to do. We go back, and Amy's decided to tell a story. So she's going to tell a story about sports. When she's ready, someone hits the timer, and Amy begins talking. The timer counts down, in this case, from a minute. And we just have to wait until it reaches 45 seconds before we can go to the next screen. But in a game, you would go down to 0 at least. Now the other players get to rate the speech. Robert gives her a 4. Bill loved it. He gives her a 5. Maria, she wasn't too impressed. She gave it a 1. Now it's Maria's turn. And of course, when you rate, you can do this confidentially. Nobody has to see the score you give. So here we have Maria, who's landed on yellow, which is question. The players can ask Maria any question they like. Maria then has to spin this wheel of structure. And she's got 1, 2, 3. Again, if we're not sure, you go to the rules, and in the rules there's an example. And the example is, what do you like about New York City? It gives you examples of how you would respond to that question with each of the different structures. When she's ready, the timer starts, and Maria gives her talk.